Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, joined, as always, by my friend Gryfflet, who is here on the Watchtower in Stangard, keeping a vigilant watch off to the north, just in case there's an incursion of enemies from the north here, because the people of Stangard seem to be looking out mostly to the east and south. They're worried about things like, the worms and vicious, vile dogs and orcs hanging out to the north without realizing, of course, their true danger from the north in what might come as an invasion of the savage deer out of the wood to the north. So, he's helping. Gryfflet is trying to do his part here in Stangard while he's here, being nothing but helpful. That's what he's doing these last few weeks. Also, he can't help but notice there's another little ruin up here that he hasn't had a look at. So we'll get a chance to. It's a darling little ruin. Like, what, did somebody build a little cottage there or something? And it looks larger than a cottage, but the way it's kind of, concealed fetchingly in a little copse of trees on a hilltop there. I'm sort of trying to speculate what that thing was. Of course, we haven't seen any evidence, which is interesting, come to think of it. Oh, and look at that Kuthstan from here. But we haven't seen any evidence that there was anything here. That is where Stangard is. You've got the Rohirric town, obviously, and it's all made of wood. And there seem to be no ruins about, as if the people here, like the Gondorians, had never built here, which is, obviously, right? Look, we got ruins over there, and there's a ruin down over here. I know, there it is. Yeah, that ruin over there. That's the one he ran through before on his way to Stangard the first time. So obviously, and there's that darling little keep, which I can't wait to see closer. So, Marielle, it's not exactly like I see any reason for Gondor to build in this region exactly. This wasn't really a major place of theirs, and we know there's going to be there. I can just see against the skyline there, where the ford is, where the where the river crossing is, and they had a stronghold there, which makes all kinds of sense. I'm just thinking, like, somebody built these ruins, off around on these little hills, and that keep does not look contemporary with Stangard, in that it's made of stone and everything else here is made out of wood. So, therefore, somebody built around here, and this looks like an awfully defensible place. Stangard this is great. Look at, you got this like natural moat thing going on, and these cliffs, and the with the palisade on, even just with the wooden palisade on top, enormously defensible. This is really great. Even just the meat hall itself, right, is up on this little rise with a defensible path sloping up to it and everything. If I were somebody who is building stone ruins and I had an eye for building a defensible place, this would suggest itself, as it obviously has suggested itself to the Rohirrim. So I'm just, I'm not saying it needs to have been. I'm just saying it's a little curious that we haven't. And it makes me wonder, again, who lived in this fetching little dwelling over here, if they weren't defending themselves, was just like a random country house or something. I'm not really sure. Yeah. I see, Hadderb, your question, is Gryfflet a baby griff, like a piglet? No. Gryfflet is a noble name. He is named after one of the Knights of the Round Table, one of my favorite of the Knights of the Round Table, Sir Gryfflet, le Fils de Dieu. In Middle English, his name is actually spelled like that, Gryfflet. I don't know. The big question really is why is Sir Gryfflet of the Round Table called Le Fils de Dieu, which means the Son of God, and I can't really figure that out, as there's really nothing messianic about Gryfflet. He's a really good knight, and I'm fond of him, but he's not in fact, in any literal sense, the Son of God. So I've never understood that title, and in fact, the sort of bizarre and grandiose mystery of his title has always been something that I found a little attractive about him, actually. Anyway, okay, so Gryfflet is back to doing good deeds, and he okay, so we were just assigned good deeds at the end of last time, and so now I'm going about to figure out the good deeds. So this was still by what, Gada, is that his name? The faithful dude, guard from out front who attempted to appeal to Stanrick, and Stanrick rebuffed him. Because we could see, and I really, my favorite part of that instance was the little private conversation that Stanrick had with me at the end, right? Which indicates the difficulty that he's in, right? He does not want to just allow Sithric to continue to wreck things, but at the same time, he does not want to undermine the authority of Theoden. So, very tricky, as we were talking about last time. JJ48 is asking if Gryfflet Le Fils de Dieu desired the daughters of men. Quite possibly, JJ, yeah. But I hope that no giants will come of it. Sorry. Exchange of obscure biblical humor. Okay. Genesis 6 verses 1 through like 4 or 5. Look it up. Anyway, okay. Food for future days. Okay, so the real problem is no crops, and no crops means no harvest. Very true. And no harvest means no food now or ever. Okay, that sounds bad. You were a farmer once, but you've been told to stay here and tend these horses day in and day out. Okay, well, I mean, that's not the worst job. If I was permitted to leave this post, I would plant until my back gave out. Okay, so I'm being given clandestine seeds with which to plant. Okay, in fertile patches of land, huh? Okay, let's do a little gardening on the sly, shall we? We can do that. All right. Phil says that let's hope the threat of worms and the farming task aren't the same thing. Well, I wouldn't think so, Phil. I mean, at least I know my mother is a very avid farmer and gardener and is very pro-worm in general. So I wouldn't think so. Okay.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
If you find yourself near the teeming nests where the worms roam free. Okay, hang on. There's so many ways that sentence could finish. If you find yourself near the teeming nests where the worms roam freely, so many possibilities. But anyway, hew down as many of the menaces as you see. Okay, all right. Will do. No good can come of the vile things. Okay. I shall ensure that the nests teem somewhat less than of yore. Okay, the worms
need of your services
of northern Earlsmead have been spawning unchecked for months uncounted without intervention. Okay. And they will only continue to grow in number. Their eggs must be destroyed if we have any hope of checking the size of future populations. Okay, destroy worm eggs as well. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to put my earbuds in. Okay. Sure, absolutely. I shall hunt out the worm eggs. Okay, so we've got worms to fight. We've got crops to plant. Where do we plant crops? Exactly, food for future days. Oh, right down there. Okay. No problem. Let's head over to the spawning evil. All right, well, while Gryfflet investigates the teeming nests, and all that, let me tell you about an exciting thing that's going on. An exciting event that is coming up very soon in conjunction with a larger exciting event, which is has begun this week and is going on, as you may have heard. And as I just... Oh, hi there, Mr. Worm. I was just going to see if you counted for my quest before I attacked you, you know, in, like, humanitarian interests, but you took that out of my hand, so that's fine. Anyway, so, oh dear, I'm supposed to collect goat meat as well. Hi, Mr. Goat. You, look at you. See? The deer of Thinglad have so much to learn from you. I feel really guilty, creeping up and attacking you. Because, you know, you're just friendly. But kind of huge. I mean, I guess that's part of the point. Well, okay. It's cute and tasty. That is the problem. Okay, so, never mind. All right, anyway, so the larger exciting event that he stunned me. I've been stunned by the cuteness of the goat, I think. The larger exciting event is, of course, the Signum University fundraising campaign. Once a year, Signum University, we do our fundraising campaign to help keep the university running. And, of course, to help us to fund our credentialing process, which we are very excitingly in the middle of. We have lately achieved program approval from the state of New Hampshire, and we are continuing onward into the next step, which is the accreditation process. For those of you who don't have any direct experience with the higher education credentialing process, let me just say it's more complicated than you think, probably. But anyway, it's really awesome. It's really exciting. We're in a really exciting time at Signum University right now. But anyway, we're doing our annual fundraising campaign, and it's a lot of fun. And one of the things that I do every year at the fundraising campaign is my LOTRO marathon. We've done that, oh goodness, 2 years, 3 years? I think we've done it for 3 years now. This will be the 4th LOTRO marathon I've done during the fundraising campaign. And last year, I took Wiggend. So Wiggend is my guardian. Gryfflet is my burglar. Gryfflet was born here on my weekly LOTRO stream. And he has been... and he's been, you know, I never really play him outside the stream here, so he's lived his whole life here on the LOTRO official, and anyway, but Wiggend is my original character, the very first character I ever created when I first set up my account, and he's a guardian, and he's also, I am embarrassed to say, my highest level character. Embarrassed because he's only level 94, because I don't have very much time to play on account of the aforementioned complexity of the higher education credentialing process. So anyhow, Wiggend, however, last year during our fundraising campaign for Signum University, oh, here's that. Looks like a teeming nest to me. If I've ever seen a nest that's teeming with worms, it's got to be that one. But set amidst these lovely purple flowers, I mean, it's hard for me to feel like I'm entering into danger right now. But anyway, however, that goat is entering into danger. Of course, he's in more danger from me, it looks like, than from the worms, honestly. But anyway, so last year, as I said, during the LOTRO marathon, I took Wiggend through Helm's Deep, through the whole Helm's Deep sequence, which I had never done before in my life, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed that, especially my favorite moment, really one of my favorite moments ever from streaming, was when I got blown up on the walls, which I totally did not know was gonna happen. That was really fun. So anyway, Wiggend was left at the... I got through the end of the Volume 3. Whoa! How about I not just do that as with... yeah. Oh, he's chasing me slowly. It's a low-speed chase. Hang on. I mean, I suspect probably I'm going to go after that ancient worm, but not without a quest, I can tell you that. Will I get a quest if I take him out? If I kill him, will it spawn a quest? Or will that... I have to go back and they'll send me back on the quest. Anyway, so yeah, so I came to the point where I'm you know, he's ready to go on the the Paths of the Dead. So but that's where I left him, and sadly poor Wigand has been there ever since. He has come into LOTRO for a couple speaking engagements since then, but really no adventuring to speak of. So I'm now, I don't even know how many areas of the game behind, and am seeking in the marathon this year to try to rectify some of that. So I'm gonna this Saturday, aka tomorrow, am going to take Wigand, and we're gonna go through the Paths of the Dead, and I'm gonna go off into Gondor as far as I can. I don't know exactly how far that's gonna be, as long as I hold out and my internet provider doesn't fail me, then I am going to carry on through Gondor. I don't really expect that I'm likely to get him all the way to Minas Tirith, as there's a lot of Gondor. Which is why I'm so excited, because I've done nothing but, like, run through Gondor in chicken form, pretty much. So, you know, I've done a little bit of landscape sightseeing, curtailed, of course, by the very reasonable concerns of the people trying to protect me in chicken form. So I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to actually, you know, interact with people, get a sense of the Epic Quest storyline, of the Volume 4 storyline, which I know practically nothing about. So anyway, I'm really excited to move forward on those things, and to get into some new areas, get closer to the Battle of Pelennor Field, which I'm pretty excited about. And then of course off on towards Ithilien, and then Mordor, and then Northern Mirkwood, and all that good stuff. So that's the plan. So I'm not going to do all those things, obviously, tomorrow. I'm not even going to get to Minas Tirith, probably. But, as I say, I'm going to do as much as I can, in the interest of getting closer to those things. And the smart money for a while has been, you know, that Gryfflet is probably going to get there before Wigan does. But we'll see. Anyway, so... Hang on. Oh, I think we got an egg over here. What am I doing on eggs? Oh, still need 5 eggs? Oh, man. So anyhow, that is the plan. So tomorrow, that's going to start at noon, and I'm going to be broadcasting that on on Signum University's Twitch channel. We're still, so far as I know, the only institution of higher education that has their own dedicated Twitch channel that we use for educational purposes, as well as game streaming, which we do. My regular class sessions are streamed on Twitch as well. Again, I think Signum University is the only university that is running a medieval literature course on Twitch, right? Open to the public. My Sir Thomas Mallory course, which runs on Wednesday nights. So, yeah. Anyway, it's pretty cool. So, looking forward to. Oh, come on! I don't really want to kill every single worm in the entire province here. Yeah, so from exactly 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Greenwich time. That's exactly. Oh no, he's back! Run, Gryfflet! Oops. Okay, not sure if that's necessarily an upgrade from the ancient dude. Now I've collected like half the mobs of the area here. Yeah, I've heard rumors of the Seven Sisters quests, and I'm really looking forward to those. So, anyhow, yeah, I hope that you will be able to join me tomorrow. Again, so starting at noon Eastern Time, noon server time, I will be starting up just twitch.tv/SignumU, and you can find me there and join in. And there's going to be there'll be presents. So yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna do giveaways. We're gonna be giving away LOTRO points and also free books, and also other prizes such as free access to some of Signum's courses and all these other things. So it's gonna be lots of stuff, lots of fun during the course of the day. So I hope that you will. I hope that you will come and join us. Oh wait, did I get enough? I did get enough eggs. Okay, now I'm just like killing some recreational worms here apparently. Okay, that's good. I still do need a few goats though. And a new ruin. Where are we now in relation to that? Okay, due north of it? No problem. Okay, so don't forget, tomorrow I am looking forward to spending the day with you guys and exploring Gondor, and it's going to be great fun. And you'll be able to get to see me play a Guardian instead of just playing a burglar like a Guardian, which is normally what you get to watch on Friday afternoons. So, but let me also explain another thing, which is, the keep. Okay, when I see this keep from a distance, do you know what I ask myself? I ask myself, does it have plinths? Because that looks like a keep that should have plinths. This looks like, almost like, a little Norman donjon, doesn't it? Beautiful little Norman keep. Square, corner towers. Oh, it's kind of half-hearted plinths, though. So a plinth, this is a really fun castle word. If you ever notice at the bottom of a castle, right? So you've got the walls that come down, and then they kind of slant out like this, like they have a diagonal part at the bottom that slants out at the bottom. That's the plinth. And a plinth is designed, by the way, so that if you drop stuff from the top, if you like drop rocks or whatever from the top of the walls to try to crush people who are attempting to scale the walls, the rocks don't collect at the bottom of the wall. Because if you throw off rocks and then they can take the rocks and pile them up and like help them to scale the walls, then you're being sort of ultimately counterproductive, right? So the plinth is usually not just little, it like usually slants out quite a bit so that the rocks come down, hit the plinth, and go rolling off. Ideally, then rolling off into the, folks who are standing around outside there. So it's like it doubles the effectiveness of your rock, as well as preventing them from accumulating and helping people scale the wall. So that's the purpose of a plinth, and that's what it is. So I was kind of hoping that there would be plinths at the bottom of these walls, because otherwise, like it's the plinths along the bottom is a very famous standard feature of a little Norman keep. If you want to know what I mean by a Norman keep, the White Tower in the Tower of London is the most perfect, and I would add adorable, little Norman keep you will ever see. So if you've ever been to the Tower of London, that, not the whole tower, like not the entire structure, just the White Tower in the middle, that is a just darling little Norman keep. Perfect in almost every way. This is, from a distance, it looks exactly like a Norman keep with the four, as I say, with the four corners, it's like square with the four corner towers. That's classic, but it doesn't have plinths, and it also has a door on the ground floor and stone stairs leading up to it. Two big no-nos if you're making a Norman keep. Your Norman keep always has the door on the second floor, and it always has a wooden stairway leading up to it. Again, you can see this in the White Tower and the Tower of London. Yeah, it's just So cute. But anyway, Marielle says it's not an adjective usually associated with any part of the tower. I don't know, Marielle. I have, I had studied a lot of sort of castle architecture and stuff before I ever visited England, and so I'd seen a lot of pictures and studied a lot of stuff about Norman keeps and everything. And so the first time I went to the Tower of London and stood there and just saw the White Tower in front of me, it was just like. It's just like heart melting, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. It's so perfect. And I'm totally not going in this keep yet because I'm going to wait because I'm so dutiful as well. I'm waiting until I'm sent here in a quest. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to carry on hunting goats and moving down towards farmland so that I can finish my next round of chores here. But speaking of free books, which I mentioned before, and other presents and things, I just wanted to invite you guys. So I love to, we're so grateful for all the people who have donated to help support Signum University. It's really just kind of a fun fact. This patches of fertile land with a big bloody rockworm sitting in the middle of it. Hang on, I need to improve this real estate a little bit. And my mother said that garden patches infested with worms is a good thing. But anyway, I think this is not what she meant. I completed Errol's Mead Explorer by finding the abandoned farm. Okay. There we go. Anyhow, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So it's the whole process this past summer of, we went through our very exhaustive evaluation process from the state of New Hampshire. And doing that and kind of explaining everything about, Signum and how things work and, our history and all, these kind of digging into every different element of, who we are and what we do and how we do things and everything. It became so clear that and I don't mean those people, I mean like the entire institution, like the state laws and everything, they never even imagined that something like Signum University would even be possible. I mean, there's no provision for a completely crowd-funded university. I won't bore you with concrete examples. Nothing quite so stimulating in a LOTRO stream, I find, than quoting state legal statutes. But anyway, there are places you can see where they assume that obviously you must have if you have gotten to this point, if you've gotten to the point of going through evaluation, you must either be affiliated with a major institution or you must have major funding, right? The entire concept that a university could successfully start up and successfully operate and fund itself just by crowdfunding, just by through the generosity and support of okay, that was enough, right? Okay, that was enough. And I need one more goat. Okay. It's just totally outside the paradigm, nobody thought, nobody even it didn't even occur to anybody to put provisions in to allow for the possibility of something like Signum happening and succeeding. And it makes me so proud, less of, sort of the work that we've done, which is a lot of work, but it makes me proud of all of the support that we have gotten from you guys. We have routinely done the impossible over the years in making this happen. And yes, that does make us mighty. So, anyway, I every year at fundraising time, of course, is the time, the fundraising campaign. We do our fundraising campaign once a year. And, of course, that's the time, when I ask people to consider giving back to Signum and Mythgard for all of the broadcasts that we do and all the time that we spend in making, really fun and intellectually stimulating educational experiences available for everybody. All of the Mythgard stuff for free and all of the Signum stuff, as cheaply as we possibly can, and far more cheaply than pretty much anybody else can, especially in America. So, and certainly, certainly I do that again. It is the time when we ask people to do that. But of course, it's also for me the time when I really want to appreciate the work that, all the generosity that you guys have already shown. I love to do stuff to sort of thank and celebrate you for all the generosity you've shown over the years. So, I want to do a thing in my Gryfflet stream here that I did last year. I'm pretty sure I did it last year. If I didn't, then I'm going to do it this year anyway. And that is, I want to do a sort of a special drawing. And for those of you who attend my other class sessions during the week, I want to do the same thing here that I've done in there. You've heard me explain it there. And that is,
what brings you to these lands?
I want to do a special drawing from the people. Everybody who donates to Signum University and sort of dedicates that, not exactly dedicates, but sort of mentions the Gryfflet, my Gryfflet stream in association with that donation, will be entered into a special drawing that I'm going to do at the end. Our fundraiser culminates, as is traditional, in our October 13th webathon. So we're going to do another big marathon session. It's not a marathon game stream, though I will do a game stream in it. But we have a whole bunch of different things, special classes and talks and games, and I'm going to do a State of the University address and sort of give some updates about what's going on at Signum and what our plans are, and some really exciting new programs we're going to be launching this coming year and all that kind of thing. So it's going to be a really, really fun day at the end there in the webathon. And during the webathon, I'm going to do the drawing from all the people who have donated and mentioned my Gryfflet stream. I'm going to choose 3 people, and I'm going to give away one of our anytime audit seats. So if you don't know about this program, at Signum University, all of our courses are archived, and you can go to our course catalog go to signumuniversity.org and look at our course catalog, and you can get access to those asynchronously. The normal tuition rate for our anytime audit, where you get access to all of the audio and video recordings of all the lectures, as well as all the class materials and readings and everything else, the normal tuition rate for that is $95 for full access to the whole class. It's after the fact, none of the synchronous elements, obviously, but it's all of the asynchronous stuff. We're going to give away 3 free seats to courses. So you go through all of the courses that we've done, the awesome courses by Tom Shippey and Verlin Flieger, and a bunch of the different Tolkien stuff that I've done, the Tolkien's poetry class, like the course I team taught with Tom Shippey on Beyond Middle-earth, Tolkien's non-Middle-earth stuff, which was a fun course, as well as all the other things, science fiction surveys, H.P. Lovecraft, Harry Potter, all the different courses that we've offered over the years. You can have your choice and enter one of them. So I'm going to give away three anytime audit seats, 1 to each. But I'm also going to give away another grand prize. We'll have a grand prize drawing too, and that will be also one of our anytime audit seats. And in addition, you will be able to be a guest with Gryfflet for a day if you want to just come along with me in my regular stream, and I'll turn your mic on and we can have some conversation if you like, or if you'd like to do something else, if you would like Gryfflet to come visit somewhere else, and is there a set of ruins that you would like to tour with Gryfflet or something? It's totally up to you. So I would be happy to do that with the grand prize winner. So anyhow, that's That's what is that is what is
Horse
coming up. So let
Lords.
me explain how you do that. So first of all, how do you make a donation to Signum University? That is super easy, and the answer to that is go to our website signumuniversity.org, and there's a donate tab on the far right, and you just hit the Donate Now button. You can also just navigate to it directly at signumuniversity.org/donate. And you can make a donation to help support Signum University. And after you do that, if you then send an email to donate@signumu.org, so donate@signumu.org, send an email there and mention the Gryfflet stream, and we will enter you for the Gryfflet drawing. If you have already made a donation, or if you have I know many of you have regular monthly donations, recurring donations that run, which is super wonderful. Then you can sort of choose to dedicate a gift that you've already given, or a recurring donation that you're going to continue, or whatever it is. So just again,
What brings you to these
send an
lands?
email and we'll enter you into the drawing. So. Yeah, cool. Sorry, Sam. I was seeing Sam's comment. This is when Sam reads class, he automatically thought LOTRO class and was wondering for a moment what the poetry class in LOTRO was. Well, see, Sam, now you've got me wanting a poetry class. And I guess the rune keepers are kind of like a poetry class, but...
Will you aid the Horse Lords?
Okay. Oh, I see. You're like all this raw goat meat is making you hungry. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
I've accomplished more by myself in a short time than all the men of Stangard could do in a month. Okay. All right. So Stanric has a desire to meet with me. Oh, let's do this. Another instance. Excellent. I've caught Sithric's attention as well. Ah. Okay. Oh, we're going to meet clandestinely with Stanric. I like that. Ooh. Okay. It was night already, right? God, we're not just like meeting at night. Now he's looking around.
Our mission is dire.
Okay. He's inside his house. All right. Shh. Okay. Let's sneak. Go into Stanric's house, which, as I've already observed, is very modest. Oh, there you were. Saw your quest ring flash by me there. Hi, Stanric.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Okay. Men have been coming to thank you for various good deeds. How was I able to do so much? Well, I just, I have a certain amount of experience with running errands for people, and as I've said, your errands are actually a substantial amount more dignified than the errands I used to run for the Dunedain in the north. So yeah, of all the gopher work I've done, this has been fine. Okay, little effort, free of the restrictions of politics. Oh, hee. Right, you have always been few in number. Okay, things have been hard. The men and beasts have never starved. Sithric was sent by Theoden King to oversee Stangard. Right. Since then, things have grown worse. What could be the explanation of this? He came to ensure that this distant outpost was to provide adequate something, but he thwarts all that we do to be effective. Oh man, adequate protection. You've done more. The men begin to hate you, and you cannot blame them. You're in a tough place, Stanric. You don't stand up for them as you should. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to go against the wishes of the king. You don't want to undermine the authority of the king. You see what is right. Okay, so you're going to stand up to Sithric? All in all, I think that's well. So, Stanric, did you ever consider the possibility of questioning his authenticity? Right? Like, throw the blame on the evil counselors. That's what I'm saying. I mean, even if you don't know about Grimace, still. It is high time for change. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go make a change. Oh, here he comes. He's going to make a change. Hey, Gada, right behind you. He's going to...
What brings you to these lands?
He has his eye on us already. He grows suspicious whenever anyone leaves his sight. Yeah, let's deal with it. All right, Gada, we're going to deal with things. Secret conference? We're just chatting. Yeah. You might wish to avoid us, Sithric. Dude, we're speaking openly, like right now. Yeah. With two not over large hands, I have done more all by myself. Oh, don't say you fear your king less. Yes, we're not gonna allow it to grow feral around here. You defy me, the envoy of Theoden King. Yeah, you give it to him, Stanric. I don't think he's implying anything, Sithric. That's fine. That's right, Stanric, you be strong. You be strong. He doesn't seem happy. No, not really. Okay. Sithric can go rot. Do you venture to say my work here is done? Really? Okay. Let us retire. Oh, phew, yeah, that was tough. Tough work right there. Hey, God, that was awesome, wasn't it? You're a fan, right?
What brings you to these lands?
I inspired Stanric beyond anything I would have... Dude, I just paced back and forth with him, right? He really talked himself into that. Absolutely. Sithric will no longer share in the leadership of Stangard. Hooray! Let's see. Boots of the Honorable Man, huh? I don't know. Yeah, no, I think we're good.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
There's another matter outside of Stangard which could use my attention. Am I familiar with the Stone of Friendship, the Kuthstan? From a distance only, Gada, but I've been hoping to go there. I'm supposed to meet Horn there, as I recall, so that sounds like great fun. And I still have a little bit of time to leave early today because there's a thing happening. So I need to leave a little early. But Gada, I still have time to head to the Kuthstone, I believe. It's a large stone monument. I've seen it from a distance. It's hard to miss it, really. Dedicated to the alliance of the men of Gondor and the Eorlingas and to the victory at the Battle of the Field of Celebrant. It's fallen under some ruin, with unseen culprits removing a section of the statue. How did I not connect that before? I can't even understand. Men have been dispatched and have set up camp to keep watch for Vandals in the event they should return. Also, watch out for Visigoths. You don't want them coming in either. Go there now and speak with Lambert, sergeant of the outpost, see what can be done. Okay, sure. Very happy to. Was kind of headed that way anyway. Let's ride. Okay. All right. Cool. So let me answer a little lore question. The Runekeeper has come up in the context of the poetry class. Oh, there's Kiriana on a stick again. Okay, so the question, I forget who asked this question. I've got it here somewhere. Let's see. Let's see. Where was it? Yeah. Safari asked, do I think the Runekeeper class breaks Middle-earth lore? Well, sweetly and gently, yes. It does actually. I think
Our success
to me,
depends upon our
the
strength.
Runekeeper is
aid
a
us?
really fun example of LOTRO's relationship with Tolkien lore. Actually, stay clear of the Limelight Gorge. Okay, sure, right. Okay, stay clear of it. But if I should not stay clear of it, I should check in with Captain Agelbrett. Okay, sure. Okay, so Runekeepers. So do they break the lore? Yeah. There's nobody like Runekeepers in Middle-earth. I mean, this is a challenge that the LOTRO developers have spoken about quite openly. And that is, in a gaming environment like this, people want to have magic-wielding classes, and it's one of the great challenges of being true to the Tolkien lore, is that he doesn't have. I mean, like, there are wizards, but there are not many of them, and even them, there's nothing like a Dungeons and Dragons, wizard or sorcerer, really, in Tolkien's lore. And so, how can you have player characters that are magic-using classes without breaking the lore? And so their response to this is really kind of, characteristic LOTRO, right? On the one hand, they are willing to submit to the expectations of players. They want to give players the opportunity to have a more magic-wielding class. So they don't just take an absolute hard line and say, if we don't see anything just like this in Tolkien, then we're not going to put it in the game. But what they do, so because I think we can see that kind of thing a lot. That is their desire to, give people the kind of gameplay experience that they would really like to have. But at the same time, they're not just going to ditch Tolkien lore entirely and be like, so we're just going to pretend that, the place is overrun with wizards, right? So instead, what they do is they go to the text, right? And they ask themselves, how does magic work in Tolkien, right? And the answer is one major element so, there's music and there's runes, right? Both of which things... Those are obviously efficacious, right? In Middle-earth, there are runes of power. There are runes that you carve on things, and they make things happen. That's very clear. It's also very clear that music makes things happen, not exactly magically, but as hobbits and others might call it magic, right? If they saw it, and so they developed the two different classes, the Runekeeper and the Minstrel, both of whom are able to produce magic-like effects and create, player characters that are able to do magic. Of course, the Lorekeeper is the is the other, and again, that's another sort of Tolkien element. So does it break the lore? As I said, yes, but as I say, sort of gently and sweetly, right? What it does do, and what I really like most about it, not just the Runekeeper, but the lore master and the minstrel as well, is that that they really bring out. They're very, although the all of the powers that those classes have in the game are, it's not like every single one of those is reflected in the books by any stretch. But what it does do, it draws attention to the mechanisms by which effects which hobbits would call magical do in fact happen in Middle-earth. It's still engaging with the world as a whole and sort of the culture of Middle-earth in, I think, really interesting and sort of fruitful ways. So yes, is it does it stick exactly to what's in the book? No, but it also doesn't simply break the lore, and I have an enormous amount of respect for the way they've approached that whole problem. So I certainly don't have a problem with Runekeepers. I have a Runekeeper and a Lore Master. The only Minstrel actually is one of the only classes that I have not myself played much at all. There are a couple classes I haven't played at all. Really, Champion I've almost never played. Warden I've never played at all. Hunter I've never played at all. Minstrel I've played a little bit, but not very much. My primary alts are Runekeeper, Loremaster, and Guardian, of course, Wigan, and of course Gryfflet the Burglar. JJ still wants Hobbit lore masters who ride their animal companions. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah. Ali, you're wanting cuddly baby Balrogs? Seriously? That's what you want for a cosmetic pet? I mean, it would be fetching. Let me admit, it would be fetching. But
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
there you go, Mariel. There's another adjective not usually applied to Balrogs either. Okay. Hi, Ithamar. Good to meet you. You understand that Landbird has explained our situation? No. Should I have talked to him first? I saw your ring first, so I came right over to you. There's encroaching orcs. Don't worry, he'll fill me in. Okay. During your last patrol, you encountered a small party of orcs, right? You managed to wound a few of them and escape, but you dropped a trinket. Okay. It might not be worth much, but it is personal value. Sure. Now, this, Ithamar, is more like the errand that the Dunedain used to send me on. So now I'm on search and now I'm on the lost and found duty. That's good.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Okay, welcome to the Stone of Friendship. No, that's wonderful. Your men have been guarding the statue from further harm. A band of mountain orcs appears to be responsible for the damage. How did I never put that together? That the damage is, of course, the breaking off of the hand. Taking arms.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
Oh, sorry. In the context of the Kuthstan having its hand cut off. How does one lead a company of soldiers when he cannot keep them armed? That's a good question. Oh, you're going to take orc blades? All right. Sure. We can do that. It sounds a little burglarious.
Upon our strength. Will you aid us?
You assure me that the wretched orcs responsible for damaging the Kuthstan pose no further threat. They're wholly disorganized. But I should still thin their numbers. Okay. All right. We can do that. And I think Horn is supposed to be around here too, isn't he? Right? I think so. Okay. All right. Sam, I like that suggestion. That you should put together the Shadow Grim and the Fire Grim pets and pretend it's a Balrog pet. Yeah, the Shadow and Flame. I like it. Hi, Horn. Hang on. Can you... I can't be this close without taking a closer look here. Okay. Interesting. Interesting that the stone of the statues is so much different. How did they build these statues? Is that native stone? Hang on a second. Maybe it is. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Because this looks like it was erected, not carved out of the hilltop, which is one of the questions I had looking at this colossal statue from a distance. Man. Okay, so that's the one holding a spear. But before I even look at the statues, I wanted to... And the flagstones are different. What is this? A little altar? These offerings? What do you like? Light a little votive candle? Or is that what these big torches are? Huh. Okay. So the stonework is apparently Rohirric in origin. I guess by the knotwork on the steps. It does not look Gondorian in build. But surely, I mean, no offense to the Rohirrim, but surely they had some Gondorian assistance in the making of the gigantic statues, right? Because, seriously, hard to believe the Rohirrim had... I mean, we know the Dunedain are into colossal statues, right? I mean, we saw that from even Dim on down, so... this has got to be Eorl the Young on the right. Right? With the spear? As if he was just on horseback. Is that a horse head on his belt buckle? Can't really tell. No, the rear of my horse is not what I was wanting to get a closer look at here. Really a tough angle. He's wearing a... oh, yeah. I'm like inside his foot here. That's no good. I'm trying to see his head. Can't really see it. But I think he's wearing a crested helm and carrying a spear. The mere fact that he's carrying a spear suggests that he's the horseman, so that's Eorl, and that is Cirion, which is interesting because it and we talked about this a little bit when we found Curion's hand, of course, over in Isengard, which is cool. Yeah, no, I remember that class when I learned that, that class session when I learned that. And I really love the symbolism of that and how that all works as I was exploring back then. What I'm interested in here is the original concept, right? Eorl the Young is depicted standing here all, with his spear and his arm and his helmet, right? He's looking very military, right? He's looking very warrior-like. Whereas Cirion is depicted with no helm. So it's like... and he's pointing off with his right arm. Where is he pointing? Roughly this way. Yeah, he's pointing to the east. He's pointing to the east, which means he's... what? Why would he be pointing to the east? I mean, that's where the Easterlings came from, of course, which they were fighting together. But of course, it's not Cirion that drew Eorl's attention to that particular threat. The two of them reminiscing about... Cirion is what? Telling him about the, so they're shaking hands. That's what he's doing in his left hand. So he and Eorl are clasping forearms, right? And Cirion is pointing out towards the east. So we will stand here together in league against the threats that come from the east, like the Easterlings against whom we fought and in battle with whom you pulled my biscuits out of the fort, as it were, earlier on, Eorl the Young, and thanks very much for that. so we're facing the east, but it's Kirian who's doing the pointing, right? This is the thing that interests me here. This whole thing, as I said, the foundation and everything, the name of it, obviously, Kuthstan in Anglo-Saxon. So this is a Rohirric project, and yet they depict Kirian as leading, right? Which is interesting, I think. It's and accurate, right? They've sworn alliance and friendship with Gondor. They're not a subject state, they're an ally state, and yet we have the posture of Kirian here seems to me to suggest that he is the sort of the leader of the two of them, in particular with the pointing. Yeah, Langarwina, he's pointing to the battlefield, which of course has a double meaning then, right? He's pointing not only to the battlefield, but beyond the battlefield, to the threat, to the threat of the enemy in the east. But of course, he's also pointing back to the place where Eorl the Young came and saved his life, right? So there is also perhaps a message of, Gondor remembers, right? Gondor remembers what you've done. That makes a lot of sense, I think. Yeah. I like that. I like how this is composed. They're both in armor, as if it's, at the end of the battle as well. The whole posture of Eorl the Young too, like he's the one who looks very powerful, physically powerful, like with his weapon and his helmet, and even the posture. He's clasping hands with Kirian, but it almost looks like he's there to protect him, right? Which again, certainly appropriate under the circumstances, and for the point of view of the men of Rohan, right? Yeah, cool. Awesome. I like it. Hey, before I go, let's do a drawing. Can we give away a free book? I want to give away a book. Druid's Fire, can we do a raffle? Let's do a raffle of people who are here. Let's do a raffle for a free book. So here's what I've been doing this during our campaign events. There's a few books that we have that I'm gonna give you a free copy of a book, but it's gonna be a free commemorative copy of the book. It's gonna have in it a custom book plate that I've made up with some sort of discussion, commentary on the book, and I was so I was gonna do some discussion and commentary of the book, and I've signed it and everything. So the books that we have, okay, so we're gonna do your choice of 5 books. We've got several Tolkien, well, my book, my Exploring the Hobbit book, if you want that one, and there's a couple Tolkien books, Unfinished Tales, and Sauron Defeated, which is volume 9? I'm losing track now of how we're up to. Book 9 of the History of Middle-earth series. That one is significant because that's the next Tolkien book we're going to be discussing in our Mythgard Academy series. And then, or you could also choose Harry Potter and the Sorcerer/Philosopher's Stone, and Dune. 2 other books that we've, which are sort of representing some of our other focus in Mythgard, that is other non-Tolkien fantasy authors and science fiction as well. So we're gonna give away one of those with the custom book plate, and we'll mail it to you. Anyway, so go ahead and so we'll do our raffle in just a little bit, and if you win, what will happen is Dune by Frank Herbert. The science fiction work, Dune, was the last one that I mentioned, Jesse. So all you have to do, if you win the raffle, is send an email to the email address I mentioned before, donate@signumu.org. And that's also the one, of course, that you should write to mention the Gryfflet stream if you want to enter the Gryfflet drawing, if you are making a donation to support Signum University. Yes, thank you, Druid's Fire, for entering that in text. Donate@signumu.org. .org. So we got people enter the raffle now. We've got a couple more minutes. I'll talk to Horn.
I am glad.
And we'll close the raffle, do the book drawing. Okay, let's see. You want to talk with me here away from prying eyes? Hey, I'm like sorting things out in Stangard now. Horn, you should have stuck around. You to see. There are changes. No, not all the men have the best interests of Rohan in their hearts, which I've totally established, Horn. Like Stanric and I stood up. We just made a scene. It was good. Okay, the garrison at Stangard consists of men who had no other place in Rohan. For those who commit crimes, but otherwise remain loyal to the king. That is such an interesting concept. They perform a length of service determined by the king's order, and upon its completion, their past transgressions are forgiven. Ah, your story is no different. What was your crime, Horn? But your heart burns for Rohan. Oh, wait. Supposed to hide behind a rock? Okay. What rock? Oh, that rock? Okay. Oh, look at that rock. I'm so glad I'm hiding behind this. I didn't even notice this rock. Prowling orcs. Oh, hi. Did I not hide very effectually? Or am I just meant to kill them? No problem. That is a fascinating rock that I was just asked to hide behind. And I was looking at the rock and so didn't even think to stealth myself. Because you notice about this rock, right? Look at that rock. Hang on, I have to face the target here. Or could you move over here so I can look at the rock at the same time as I kill you? You notice that rock, right? Do you see what I see there? I mean, Gryfflet would recognize that swirly pattern anywhere. Oh my goodness, this is a very ancient rock. A very ancient rock. It looks exactly, not quite exactly, slightly different actually. To the swirly patterns that we see in all of the most ancient ruins in the Barrow Downs, in the, what do they call the Witch Bluffs down in southern Enidwife, in Angmar, right? Even in the, in the older sections of Angmar, when we were looking at, this is in Exploring the Lord of the Rings, we were looking at the different kind of levels, sort of archaeological strata there in Angmar. Characteristic of especially burial mounds of the ancient human civilizations that we found, which suggests that this spot was once of some significance. I mean, the two standing stones with those swirly patterns next to them, flanking either side of what looks to have been an old path, which suggests that they built the Kuthstan smack dab on top of some kind of ancient burial site or something. So it's like Pet Cemetery, except with colossal statues. But yeah, this was probably a burial site. Maybe there was a tremendous mound of the ancient dead up here on the site of the Kuthstan, which we'll now never know. But those stones, wow, yeah. Here I was saying I wanted ruins, right, to see evidence of the people who lived here before. Well, there it is. There is evidence.
I am worried by the increased number of orcs that move alongside the river.
Okay. I guess I'm a little worried too, but I'm not, I'm not gonna, I mean, there's fewer deer here, so I'm not that worried. They've been coming down from their holes in the Misty Mountains in great numbers. There are 2 shallow crossings across the great river. 500 years ago, a tribe of Easterlings, oh, I've heard this story. Yeah, that's right. The steward of that land knew he did not have the men to repel them. That's right. Oh, hang on. I'm supposed to hide behind the other large and attractively oh, a searching orc, huh? Hey, what you searching for? Me. You searching for me? You were searching for me. That's cute. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Hatterb. Almost exactly the stones in the Barrow Downs. Where were we? Okay, right. Yep. Oh, you were telling me the story of the Battle of the Field of Celebrant. Yep. That's right. Aerol the Young comes in a catastrophic turn to the battle. It was awesome. The ride of the Rohirrim, so wonderful. A sign of the friendship, right? My people have watched the crossings of the Great River ever since. The sword your Dunlending friend carries was at that battle. I can't be sure, but I feel it to be so. Why has it come back? Huh. Okay, Horn. I'm willing to agree. So wait, I'm supposed to talk to you where? Oh, back in Stangard.
Back at Stangard.
Okay. Well, I got stuff to do here. I gotta find missing. I got lost and found. I got some. Yeah, I don't see anything either, man. Okay. All right. Hey, yep, I'm ready. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, no worries. It's just right. It's time for me to go early. So, without further delay, can we do our raffle drawing? Let's do our drawing. Last chance. Enter the raffle now. You want a chance for a free book? And Gnagarwina, don't worry, I'm not going to skip any of the Great River quests involving Easterlings. I won't, I promise. Okay, and here it is. Hologrow! Hologrow is the winner! Okay, congratulations, Hologrow. Excellent. One of my guardian role models and faithful chicken run leader. Congratulations, Hologrow. So yeah, Hologrow, send us an email, donate@signumu.org, and we will get you set up with your prize. Awesome. So, dude, Moobot drew it. I didn't rig it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I got to go a little bit early to let Cord have the stream here for an exciting event that's coming up. The Harnkegger Games. So I'm gonna go. Don't forget, tomorrow starting at noon on the Signum Twitch stream, I'll be doing my Wigand marathon for like 12 hours or so. So thanks very much, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow, I hope, and if not, I won't be here next week because I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be going to Middlemoot out in Kansas City, which you should totally come to if you are anywhere near Kansas City. But anyway, I'll be back the week after. So you see me either tomorrow or 2 weeks from today. Thanks, everybody. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.